I don't like it here. This tent actually blows up.
Makes you feel like you've wet the bed.
Yeah, that was hard. One of the hardest camps I've done. It's seriously wet today. We're doing a survival camp. We're going to try out today a survival tent that I have. It's tight. There is not a lot of space in that tent, so it's going to be a challenging one, that's for sure. And it's really rained today. Essentially the forecast is rain for the next 48 hours. I'm going to use a survival shelter, so there's no luxury involved. It's basically enough material to cover my body. That would make an amazing spot, but unfortunately it's right next to the path. That would have been really cool. I'm looking to do a few tarp camps, maybe over the next few weeks. I've got a few things planned as we're now above freezing. And I can be a princess about it and not worry about sleeping in the absolute freezing cold. In this kind of rain, I don't really want to sleep on flat ground or a valley or something like that. I want to sleep almost on a slight slope so that any runoff goes past me and below me and it doesn't run into my tent. But I'll give you the hot tip. If you happen to be out camping and there might be a risk of rain, I'd strongly recommend you camp at the top of a slope or something like that. Even if it's only a small gradient, you don't want to be woken up with that in the night. That's happened to me before. It's not great. I'm also going to quickly mention my feet are already wet. I'm only maybe a kilometre into this hike and I've stepped in enough deep water that I'm now wet. That's quite an eerie looking set of trees with all of that moss dangling off them. I believe that you can actually drink the water from these. You can squeeze the moisture out and it's filtered and it's safe. But I don't know for sure. So, number one, I'm not drinking it. Number two, don't trust what I tell you. If I was genuinely surviving and I saw a big ball of moss like that holding water, I'll give it a try. The only thing that's going to happen to you is you're going to lose a lot of weight. So I've reached the road. I don't want to reach the road, so now I'm going to have to go back on myself, I believe. That is quite a large birch tree, and if you can see, it's on a lean. See, that half is wet, that half is dry. I've been collecting some birch bark as I walk around, but this is the driest I've seen. So we're going to take a few pieces. God, it's tough because it's older. That's going to help us light our fire. That is a genuinely massive tree. It's not the height of it, it's the width of it. Look, there's my foot, size 10 boot. That is a monster tree. If I were a guy from maybe the 1700s and I had a big stash to hide, I'd use that tree as a landmark for sure. It's the biggest tree in this entire forest, width-wise. I don't like it here. It's too sparse. There's nowhere to camp peacefully and not be seen. It's not that I don't like people, but I don't like people in the night approaching a tent when I'm inside and I have no idea that they're there. Why did I do this to myself? This is quite a steep hill. I don't know if you can tell from the gradient on the camera. Jeez, it's so high. Oh, what's this? Is that climber dry? Yeah. Oh God, there's so much hill. Okay, so we've made it to the original spot. If you remember in my Christmas video, I made this little coat hanger out of a tree that was stood there, a little dead tree. So we're going to set up this survival tent. I've taken off everything because I was absolutely sweating. You don't want to sweat when it's cold. So this is the survival tent. There's not a lot to it. It's a very light shelter. I found a rain jacket that I've been looking for. I'm really happy about that. I've been looking for that for months. Believe it or not, this tent actually blows up. The way that you do this is that you locate this valve, it twists to open, twists to close. It's not a one-way valve, so you just put your finger over it. Now I'm a fairly big boy. I'm not very long, but I'm fairly wide and broad and a little bit fat these days. This is going to be a squeeze. Oops. Right, next order of business is I've got to somehow get my backpack waterproof. Got to prioritise the snacks, eh? Fold it once, fold it twice, 3, 4, 5. Clip it together. Now, the only problem I've got is that that isn't exactly subtle. I don't know exactly how I'll camouflage that. I'm a genius. That coat that I found in my bag, dark green. Added benefit that this coat is waterproof. Cinch those hood ties up. I'm really happy with that. Ooh, luminous. If you want to know what this jacket is and why I'm wearing it, it's actually a Nike golf jacket, and it has this kind of breathable but windproof lining. They're a lot cheaper than proper outdoor gear. Everything is soaking. I'm not going to try any fancy tricks. I'm not going to start a fire like some bushcraft god. I've got fire cubes. They work. They hopefully will work. The old trusty TMU chair. This thing's great. It cost me about £5. Took a chance on it. You just open it and connect the pieces, and boom, you have a chair. That would actually be my #1 camping tip, is bring a chair. You'll go camping, everything's great, you've got everything, you've got all your fire starter, you've got your tent, you've got your sleeping bags, your mats, everything's great, and then you go, oh, I want to sit by the fire, and then all you've got to sit on is wet ground. That falls down to nothing, and it's a lifesaver. Plus you're not getting cold because your ass is on a seat instead of on the ground. I've brought myself the luxury of 2 pieces of kindling and a little piece that I'm going to cut into strips, to cut into shavings to use as my initial ignition. So I've cut these really fine shavings, and they're going to take a flame pretty quickly. This is obviously our kindling, our starter. So once that takes, this will take. And to ignite it, we're going to use barbecue cubes, lighting cubes. This will go up easy, this will go up easy, that's not going to go up easy. That's the driest wood I could find. It was all standing dead wood, but it's all saturated. Now, I mustn't forget to mention all that birch bark that we picked up on the way over. A lot of this is dry now, it's been in my pocket for a long time. That is beginning to take. When everything's wet, just do yourself a favour and don't try any fancy tricks. Keep it simple. Fire cubes, fire lighting fluid. Fire cubes are the best in my opinion. They last the longest. I haven't brought any real food, to be honest. I've got a tin of soup, an apple, some banana bread. I've got a couple of pepper armies. I've got a mini roll, chocolate roll. Just rubbish, basically. Okay, let's talk about the tent here. So this is made by a company called Zelta Shelter. I'm not sponsored. This is just my personal review. I have used this tent before, and like I said, it is cramped. It's a very small tent. And it's thin, it tapers off to the back here. There's a strange feature which I quite like, to be honest, is that there's almost like a little foot box here. See that? The most minor of comfort features is occurred in there, so, you know, I'll take it. It's actually inflated. So there's an inflatable tube on the ridge and 2 on the entrance. It's actually very well made. You've got taped seams everywhere. These are all taped seams, very waterproof. It's a decent tent, it's just cramped. The only thing I will say, there doesn't appear to be any ventilation in there, so condensation is probably going to be an issue unless you crack open the front, which I don't think you want to do because of rain. I think you're going to get kind of damp by the morning, but as it's a survival tent, it's not built for luxury, it's not built for comfort, it's built for necessity. This ain't looking good. It looks like I'm not having dinner tonight. It looks like I'll be eating snacks because everything is far too wet. It's been raining for a couple of days. It's going to rain for the next 2 days. I found the best stuff I could find. I used birch bark. I even brought kindling. I just cannot get this fire started. So that's the first time I failed on this channel, at least anyway. But I mean, I'm going to keep trying to stoke this fire, but that's basically it. I'm eating snacks for dinner. This is a seriously struggling fire. There's literally no heat off it. Look, I can have my hand right up on it. When everything's this wet, it's a serious challenge. We'll keep trying until this either goes out or I make it, but I don't think it's looking good. You never know. We'll try until we can't anymore. Come on, fire. I would like to eat tonight. And the rain's getting heavier, that's great. God damn. Oh. I don't know if you can see, my eyes are absolutely streaming from just being face down in that fire. I think it's just going to be a really cold, really crap night with no food. This isn't looking good. I think I'm going to suffer today. The sun has set. That fire is not starting. So I'm going to get down for a cold and damp evening. Oh God, this is miserable, I have to say. I'm going to take my socks off because they're wet. I'm going to put them down in my sleeping bag. The glasses are wet. There's very little space in this tent. Like I said, I'm not the smallest guy. So this is what I have for food. A Pepsi. Some banana bread my fiance lovingly made, which I will cherish tonight. An apple. Singular. If I got severely desperate, I could eat cold soup, but I don't want to do that. 3 pepperonis. That's it. So banana bread, apple, 3 pepperonis. I think I'll eat them in order of pepperonis, apple, and then banana bread for pudding. I'm gonna have to do this all basically lying down because there's no way to sit up in here. Look at the head height. So this tent's great if the world ends. Other than that, I don't know. I would not bring this on a comfort camp, that's for damn sure. It's pretty warm in here, that's the one thing I will say. What you tend to find, if you're ever shopping for a winter tent, what you'll find with winter tents is, unlike usual tents, normal summer season tents, they don't have the full mesh liner. So on the inside of your tent, there's the 2 layers. You have the inner and the outer. The inner, on a summer tent or a 2-season tent, will be more or less full mesh. On a winter tent, or something that needs to stay warm, there won't be mesh, or there'll be very little mesh at the top, like a little vent. Now this tent, it doesn't have any vents, it doesn't have any mesh. The only problem is that's going to cause condensation. So my sleeping bag's going to get wet, which then thereby might make me cold. I'm very devastated about the fire because I was going to have a hot coffee this afternoon before I went to bed. And now I can't do that. I'm actually quite warm in here. Already I can feel it, my body heat, bringing the temperature up. It does feel a bit like a coffin in here, which is appropriate seeing as I think I'd only want to be in here if it was a case of life and death, because this is not comfort. So this is how much room I have in here right now. About that much room between me, and that's here, it gets closer down there. My feet and about half of my legs are literally touching the structure of this tent. If I run my hand over this, you won't be able to see that, I don't think, but there is moisture, a little bit of moisture on my hands already. I think a lot of that unfortunately is condensation already from me being in here for 10 minutes. Right guys, I'm going to turn off the camera and try and get some rest, so I will see you in the morning. Hey guys, so a little update. I don't know if you can see behind me there. See that shining? See that rippling when I move? That's moisture. Oh God. Oh, I'm in for a shockingly bad night. I don't know if you can see that. I mean, you can certainly see that. I can see that in the camera. So that's I don't know if that's condensation or leaking. Everything's wet except the floor. So I mean, if the floor isn't wet, which it isn't, I'm assuming this is condensation. This is why you usually have a tent with an inner and an outer, because it allows airflow. And in fact, there's no ventilation for breathing. So I opened the top a little crack here just to have a little air hole. I don't want to just be here with no air. I don't want to be hermetically sealed into my tent. So I would say design flaw, big time. I would rate this tent a 5 out of 10. But it could easily be a 7 or an 8 if they added a vent either side and they made it more of like a bathtub situation. It's almost like a bivvy bag that you just climb in and just hope for the best. But you know, with a few tweaks, this could be a great tent. It's just not very comfortable, but that's fine. Like that's not what it's designed to be, so I'm fine with the discomfort. We do have banana bread, dude. So
How bad can life really be if you have banana bread? Oh, look at the chocolate chips and that. Thank you, Deborah. She should bake more often.
I got no fire, I've got no hot food, no hot drinks, but I do have banana bread.
That's a nice little win.
That is a puddle of water. This tent sucks, man.
Oh, the light's so bright. Good morning. So you can probably tell with the camera, there's so much condensation. I can't open my eyes because that light's so blinding. There's so much condensation, I have to keep wiping the camera. That was a wet night. Everything is wet. I'm wet. My sleeping bag's wet on the outside. It's actually alright on the inside, but it's sort of humid. I can feel the kind of like stickiness. I just feel like you've wet the bed, but I haven't. Not this time, anyway. Thank God. Not again. Oh no. But yeah, I've just woken up and been lying here for 20 minutes. I had a very broken sleep. I did get some sleep, but I don't think very much. Can you hear the rain? That's the reason I haven't moved, because I really don't want to have to get up and go outside in that. And my coat is outside. It's in a dry bag, but so are my boots, and I have to get up, get out, put my boots on in the rain, and then put my coat on in the rain. So that's going to be miserable and cold. If you've ever been camping and you wake up in the morning, you know what it feels like. You don't want to get out of the tent when it's cold or something, but when it's raining it's the worst. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I just want to lie here and let the rain stop, but it's not going to, because the forecast is rain all day. It literally didn't stop raining last night. It hasn't stopped since I arrived here. Literally not for a second. It's just rained the whole time. So in fairness, I will give it to this tent. It did stop rain coming in, but the amount of condensation is unbelievable. Right, everything is wet, dude. My jacket is wet. I had to leave my stuff in this bag. That, in fairness, it kept me mostly dry, but everything is damp in there. That was not a good night's sleep. That was a woeful night's sleep. One of the worst night's sleep I've had camping. It wasn't comfy, it was warm, but wow, it's still raining severely. It's dark, it's horrible out here. So there's still, can you hear the owl? Keep hearing an owl still. So you know it's early. I think it's about 6 AM right now. I'm gonna pack up and get out of here because I've got to pack up in the rain, which is the worst. That's camp packed away. One of the hardest camps I've done, to be honest with you. No fire, no warmth, wet tent, cramped conditions. Yeah, that was hard. But we made it through anyway. Struggled on till morning, and that's the main thing. You've got to get out there and enjoy it. And I did enjoy it, even though I sound miserable. This is living, isn't it? It's fun. I'm gonna get out of here now, so thanks for staying. Like and subscribe if you enjoy my pain and suffering, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out. Okay guys, I know you can't see me, but this puddle, giant puddle, that wasn't there last night, so that shows you how much water has been coming down. That was so wet, man. I don't know what I'm doing out here. Why am I doing this? I really hope you guys enjoy this video more than I do. Oh shit, nearly fell over. Right, that's me for another one. I'll see you guys next Saturday.